All right, tonight another co-defendant in the Georgia election interference case against former President Trump has pleaded guilty. A lawyer who actually worked for the Trump campaign. Laura Jarrett is here now. So, Laura, what does this plea deal mean for the prosecution's case?
It's really significant, Tom. This is now the second Trump lawyer to flip, pleading guilty today and receiving only probation for cooperating with prosecutors. Part of what makes Ken Chesebro's plea so damaging to the former president is that Chesebro has now admitted that one of the central parts of this scheme to reverse Trump's election loss was not some legal strategy, but in fact was a crime. Mr. Trump's legal team saying tonight that this plea was the result of the state's, quote, looming threat of prison time.
And then there's some drama also in that Trump civil fraud case here in New York, and it's something that started with social media.
That's right, and it's actually not as bad as it could have been for the former president. The judge in that case handing down a $5,000 fine tonight against Mr. Trump for posting a disparaging photo of the judge's law clerk. Now, he took one down from his social media site after the judge made him, but he kept one up on his campaign website for days. Mr. Trump's attorney saying it was all a big mistake, but the judge found it to be a violation of the order that he imposed weeks ago, warning that further violations could result in potential jail time, Tom.
All right, Laura Jarrett for us tonight. Laura, great to see you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.